Champions Cup Team of the Week. 8 teams represented in our lineup. Now that the dust has settled on the second round of the Champions Cup, we have had a discussion and selected our Team of the Week. There are 3 representatives apiece from Toulouse and Bath, while Northampton Saints, Ulster and Exeter Chiefs are next best with 2 players each in our team. So without further ado, let's take a look at who made the cut in our selection. 15 George Furbank, Northampton Saints. So much of Saints' attack stems from Furbank's impudence and vision. He was outstanding in steering his team to victory over Toulon. Elsewhere, Hugo Keenan yet again impressed at the RDS Arena, whilst Glasgow's Josh McKay also had his moments crossing for the winner against Bayonne. 14 Damien Penaud, Bordeaux Bègles. There's few wingers with the unpredictability of Penaud, and he's fast becoming a modern-day David Campese in terms of how he seeks work. Bath's Joe Kokonasiga impressed for the second week running, whilst at the Stoop, Toulouse's Dimitri Delibes grabbed one and created 2 others in a memorable outing. A mention too for Wales favourite Josh Adams, who's shown in defeat for Cardiff Blues. 13 Henry Slade, Exeter Chiefs. A quite remarkable display from the discarded England centre as he inspired a comeback against Munster, grabbing 17 points and a last-gasp try to take his side home, and he is our player of the round. Pierre-Louis Barassi was in scintillating form for Toulouse, grabbing a brace, and for Lyon, the wonderfully named Alfred Parisian was also influential in his side's win over the Bulls. 12 Stuart McCloskey, Ulster. A literal toss of a coin between 2 Irish test centres, with Leinster's Robbie Henshaw also magnificent against Sale. Peter Aki created havoc at the Stoop and would surely have got the shirt but for his horrible tackle on Dino Lamb that might have seen red on any other occasion, but it's McCloskey who gets the nod after a fine performance in Ulster's win over Racing 92. 11 Matthias Label, Toulouse. All the action took place on the right wing this weekend, but Label's interplay with Pido Mavaka to deliver the try of the night at the Stoop was sensational. Sale's Aaron Reid had a busy day in defeat, with UBB's Louis Bielbieri also in fine fettle over on the French Atlantic coast. 10 Finn Russell, Bath. A scintillating display of calm wizardry from Russell saw him conduct his team's win in Cardiff. Thomas Ramos can count himself unlucky not to steal the shirt as he was brilliant at the Stoop, whilst Manny Liboc's last-gasp conversion for the Stormers was crucial in his side's memorable win against last season's champions La Rochelle. 9 Antoine Dupont, Toulouse. The maestro was on top form in Toulouse's smashing of Harlequins and is a shoe-in. Alex Mitchell, Saints scrummy, has gone to new heights since his inclusion on the international scene and was in typically spiky mood against Toulon, whilst Ben Spencer reminded all of his international credentials in an influential display for Bath in Cardiff. 8 Greg Fisselau, Exeter Chiefs. Another very close one, but Fisselau was absolutely outstanding for Chiefs as he settles into big-time rugby, cementing his potential from the U20s. Alexander Romat will be re-watching his interplay down the touchline with Dupont that set up the second score for Barisi at Quins, and Warno Augustus' impact was the spark that ignited Saints' comeback against Toulon at the Gardens. 7 Nick Timoney, Ulster. A barnstorming display from Timoney as he scored twice in Ulster's win. Marco van Staden, the Big Bach, put in an impressive shift in defeat over in Lyon and reminded us all of his international class, whilst Lavani Botia was another who shone in defeat for La Rochelle. 6 Courtney Laws, Northampton Saints. He turned up to the press conference wearing Crocs, but it was his bite on the pitch that impressed everyone that saw it. Sensational, as was Juan Martin Gonzalez for Saracens, who pushes Laws all the way in this selection. France's ruck maestro François Cross was the oil in the Toulouse machine as he cleared and tidied in the way only he does. 5 James Ryan, Leinster. The epitome of abrasion, the Leinster lock was in confrontational mood as he was absolutely outstanding in Leinster's second-half recovery against Sale. David Ribbons did everything he could to inspire Toulon to a comeback as he returned to Franken's Gardens and scored for his new club, whilst his opponent Alex Moon also had a memorable outing, especially in maul defence. 4. Emmanuel Mifu, Toulouse. We are a little cheeky here moving Mifu to the 4 shirt, but we're sure his huge frame will fit well enough. England's George Martin was in confrontational mood against Stade Francais, and we can't not mention the colourful Quinn Ern Herbst, who pummeled the Toulouse line to grab a brace himself. 3. Thomas du Toit, Bath. Another massive display from the versatile prop saw him creating havoc in both the tight and the loose in a thundering performance. Elsewhere, Rodrigue Neti grabbed a try for Toulouse towards the end of the win over Harlequins, whilst Tyga's Joe Hayes showed his credentials in an impressive display for Tigers. 2. Archie Vaines, Leicester Tigers. The mobile hooker started his rugby in the back row and showed his mobility in a hat-trick performance for Tigers. Mavaka was on fire for Toulouse as he created one and scored another, whilst Dan Frost reminded us all of his love for European rugby as he impressed for Chiefs, and Yanis Charcoset also deserves a mention, grabbing a Player of the Match award for Lyon. 1. Beno Abano, Bath. Abano has moved up a gear this season and his carrying is a feature of Bath's play. Ethan Waller repelled everything Toulon threw at him at Frankens Gardens, whilst Aussie test prop Scott Seo put in a massive 80-minute shift for Exeter in their win against Munster.